Hey, what is up you guys, GLISKEY here, and today we're taking a look at my personal Sandstorm build. This is one I've been using for like maybe 1 or 2 months or so. So, hope you guys enjoy it. Give me any feedback you can, because improvements really help the team. But let's get started. First up we have Hippowdon. Sorry, not Hippowdon, Hippowdon. Okay. He's the opener. He goes out first. He uses Smooth Rock to make it so his Sandstorm on switch. This Pokemon summons Sandstorm. Smooth Rock makes it last 8 turns instead of 5, so we've got a really long Sandstorm there. We've got Earthquake for stab. Since he's lead, he's got Stealth Rocks, so put a few layers of them. What I usually do is start off with Stealth Rock. When I get low on health, slack off. Then maybe, as long as I have 3 Stealth Rocks out, I use Whirlwind. I just keep pushing them out, just because it's funny to see the other person just get annoyed that you keep using Whirlwind, and it's just sending their Pokemon in and out. Kind of a trolly move, but also it hurts them because of Stealth Rock. Also, there's Earthquake for stab, just a really good stab attack. Also, stats, we have Perfect IVs, obviously. It's best. You always want perfect IVs unless you're going for like some sort of trick room team where you don't want good speed IVs, but whatever. EVs 252 in HP, get it up to 420. Defense 144, gets it up to 138. Speed you want 112, which gets it to 158. And you want Impish Nature, so more defense, less special attack, because it's not a special attacker, you don't need it. So yeah, that's Hippowdon. Next we have Camerupt. This is the fire type. I usually try and get grass, water, fire on my teams. I didn't really get a grass this time, but I feel like I did just as good with an electric type. So, but Camerupt, yep, the fire type. Got leftovers, solid rock. Pokemon receives 3/4 damage from super effective attacks. So you know that's a good quarter damage off. Leftovers at the end of every turn. Holder restores 1/16 of its max HP. Very good. We've got Lava Plume as a stab attack, and 30% to burn adjacent Pokemon. So chance to burn and also stab. You know, very good. Very good for taking on grass Pokemon that get sent out, because ground is generally weak to grass, I think. Or is it rock? I always get ground and rock confused, but whatever. Then we have Earth Power, another stab attack. 10% chance to lower target special defense by 1 stage. Very good if you're for Camerupt, since it's a special attacker. We've got Protect just in case. Oh no, actually, I'll go into Toxic first. You want to Toxic them, then use like Lava Plume, Earth Power, lower their health. If they have you on the ropes and your Camerupt's going to go out, just use Protect. Let Toxic get in there a little bit more. You know, it's not very fast, as you can see here. We only have 104. Speed altogether. But yeah, speaking of stats, I don't know why attack doesn't have full IVs there, that was weird. But defense EVs 252 gets it up to 239, special attack 252 gets it up to 339, and then for special defense, just because you need 187, just give yourself that little bit more defense, because it's not very defensive Pokemon really. It's a special attacker, very good at special attacking. It's got a Quiet Nature, which is extra special attack and lower speed. And yeah, that's Camerupt. Next Pokemon is Gaston, the Gastrodon. I like Gastrodon East, I don't know. It's just, you never see it around, you know. I like it, it's blue and green. But it holds Citrus Berry, restores 1/4 of max health when at half health or less, single use. Sandforce, this Pokemon's ground rock steel attacks do an extra 30% in Sandstorm, which is very good because we have Earth Power, which is stab because we're ground type, and an extra 30% in Sandstorm. That is a lot. It is a lot. And with the extra 10% chance to lower targets special defense by 1 stage, very good. Scold, a stab attack, very good if I don't know, it's really just a type coverage thing. I can't really think off the top of my head what water is good against that ground isn't good against, so you know, it's really just there for type coverage. We also have Toxic and Recover, Valley Poisons. Recover just heals you 50% of your health, so really with Hippowdon having Slack Off and the Gastrodon having Recover, they're the pretty defensive Pokemon. And same with Camerat's Protect, gives it that bit of defensive maneuverability. GLISKEY, this is a different build. This isn't my GLISKEY build, which is actually kind of is. It's just different attack. Oh, not the words. It's not different attacks. It's just different item and ability. Because there's a Sandstorm team. I went with Sand Veil, which is when Sandstorm is active, evasiveness increased by 25%. So that's very good. A special Bright Powder. Accuracy of the attacks against the holder is at... It's minus 10%, so it's only 90% accuracy of what it actually is. So it's very good when you have high evasiveness and their accuracy is kind of lowered. You can kind of really get a good thing going if you have this GLISKEY build and Hippowdon in doubles. Very good because Hippowdon has Earthquake, which is very good. And also if you're going to do doubles, replace Stealth Rock, or well, actually yeah, replace Whirlwind I'd say with Earth Power, which is there. Just because if you're opening with GLISKEY and Hippowdon, Earthquake is going to be very good because it doesn't affect GLISKEY because it's a flying type. But once GLISKEY is out, you don't really want to be using Earthquake because it can hurt all of these other Pokemon I have here. So you want to use Earth Power and just single out a certain Pokemon. I'm going to change that back to Whirlwind, just because that's how I have my build. Back to GLISKEY, the GLISKEY. Yep. Moves, we have Swords Dance, raises the user's attack by 2, very good, because, you know, more attack the better. Sky Uppercut, it's a decent accuracy, decent power. Fighting type move covers ice types. You can usually, you're either going to dodge or you're going to just survive an ice type attack, I think. In theory, or at least in my head, you do. Earthquake because stab, very good. Don't really want to use that in doubles though. I'd go, actually does it have earth? Yeah, use Earth Power if you go on doubles. But I'm sticking with Earthquake because it's very good in my build. As I was saying before, if an ice attack gets you, should maybe be able to survive it. Which is where Rooster comes in. Since it's a flying type, it gets a Roost, you can actually heal up 50% of your... You can heal up 50% of your health. And it removes flying type until the end of turn. So it will just be ground type until the end of the turn, which is okay as long as you don't really have Hippowdon there. Because if you have Hippowdon there, GLISKEY is faster than Hippowdon. You use Roost, you're not flying type anymore, you're not immune to Earthquake. So got to be kind of careful with that build. Yes, I was right, EVs. I was getting confused because I thought I was supposed to be saying IVs. It's EVs. 244 in health to get it up to 352. 8 in defense to get it to 288. 56 in special defense to get to 220. And then 200 in speed to get it to 276 with the Careful Nature, which gives special defense and minus special attack because you're not a special attacker. So let's move on to Tyranitar, the mega of this build. So first up we have Tyranitar, obviously, because, you know, it's a mega. It also has Sandstorm, which it also gets when it goes into Mega, or Mega Evolves. So this is actually the reset for Sandstorm. If it's out by then, you might want to throw out Tyranitar because it resets the Sandstorm, and I don't really have any other Pokemon with a Sandstorm attack, so you know, Sandstorm is very good. Attacks, Dragon Dance raises user's attack and speed by 1, very good because you attack faster and hit harder, so very good. Stone Edge, only 80% accuracy but 100% power, or not 100% but 100 power and a higher critical hit ratio. Ice Punch and Fire Punch are just type coverage and have the chance to freeze or burn. And if we move on to stats, we have 252 in attack, bringing up to 469, which is insane. That is very, very high. That is like, one of these punches is gonna not just faint a Pokemon, it's gonna kill a Pokemon, I swear. It's insane. Then we have 4 in special defense to bring it to 277, and 252 in speed to bring it to 241. Adamant Nature gives it extra attack, no special, lowers special attack, it's not a special attacker, so extra attack is everything you need. And onto Liz the Helolisk, because it's a lizard. I don't know, I have fun naming Pokemon. I have Charizard, Cleoster, what is it? I have others. Actually, I have my DS right in front of me, I can look at them. I have Lilligant, you know, just random names. And for Noivern is my favorite one. Elonoivern, instead of Eleanor, Elonoivern. I'm just going to close my DS, I don't even know why it's there, I haven't been using it in a while. But yeah, onto Helolisk, we've got Life Orb, which the holder attacks do extra 30% damage, but it loses 1/10 of its max HP after the attack. It's okay to lose that. This is pretty much just a quick attacker to cover the water type as well, so because ground and rock weak against water, so you want a water type. Also very good for type coverage over Camerupt, because ground and fire, ooh, very weak to water. I'm pretty sure that's ×4 weakness. So having, you know, having Helolisk is very good. Also, Camerupt is a very good counter to ice types, which would be good against Gliscor, which Gliscor is my favorite Pokemon, so I don't want Gliscor fainting early on. So switching to Camerupt usually helps. But yeah, we have Life Orb, Sandoval. If a Sandstorm is active, this Pokemon's evasiveness gets an extra 25%, and it's immune to the Sandstorm, so very good just because it gives us that extra type coverage, and it's immune to Sandstorm, which is everything you want in a Pokemon in a Sandstorm team. But we have Volt Switch, which is user switches out after doing damage, but with our speed, we've got a decent amount of speed, you can see there, we'll get into that in a bit, but that's usually just to get in quick. Say they had a Life Orb themselves, they've already knocked off a few attacks, and or you've just weakened them a bit, and you just get Helolisk in, get in that Volt Switch, and you can quickly switch out and predict another one of their, or the next Pokemon they send in, whatever. That probably made no sense, but to me it does, so whatever. Hyper Voice gives us that, it's stab, and it gives us just type advantage, because it's the only normal attack on this whole team, I think. Besides Whirlwind. Yeah, Whirlwind is, but that doesn't really do damage because it's the Stealth Rocks that do, or Spikes, whichever one. Stealth Rock. I think earlier I said that something about ×3 Stealth Rock. You don't want ×3 Stealth Rock, that doesn't work. But you know, correcting myself later, I was thinking of Spikes, whatever. We got Grass Knot, more power the heavier the target, which is very good for slower targets since Helolisk is quite fast. Thunderbolt, we've got stab and 10% chance to paralyze the target. Very good for water types, as I said before, and we also have Volt Switch for water types, but you know, if they have full health, I suggest using Thunderbolt. Here we have our stats in HP. We have 252, bringing up to 328. Quite a good chunk of health, I reckon. Again, why is it... I understand it doesn't matter, but you know, IVs aren't full in some Pokemon. And then we have 4 special defense, sorry, EVs, which brings it to 225. And speed, 252, which brings us up to 348, which is very good. And we also have a timid nature, which boosts our speed, lowers our attack. So, I believe that's all of it. I'll just go through how I usually play the battle. Usually I start off with Hippowdon, unless, you know, type coverage or something, I might start up with Tyranitar and then switch out to something else just to get them to switch, I don't know, kind of a intimidation technique or something like that. But most of the time I start with Hippowdon, get off the Sandstorm, throw down Stealth Rocks, and then I usually just do kind of a stall thing where I just slack off Earthquake, and then if the Pokemon, I can't beat the Pokemon with Earthquake, I just Whirlwind, bring in another one, see if I can beat that with Earthquake. After that, depending on type, you could do Camerupt or Gastrodon, depending on what your opponent sends out, but usually I send out GLISKEY, which has high evasion. It's just fun to be able to just swoop around, do whatever you want while they're kind of sitting around. Sky Uppercut is very good because if they're trying to like dodge your attacks, because it's very much a ground team, so ground attacks can kind of get annoying. If they use Fly, you can use Sky Uppercut to still hit them. It's very good. As I said before, Tyranitar is to reset the Sandstorm. With its insane attack, you can pretty much just anything that's special, like a special defense tank, just send out Tyranitar and it'll be fine. You've got so much attack. It's amazing. So, yeah. I hope you guys like my team. If you guys see anything that can be improved, please comment down below. Like the video if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more builds. Also comment in the comment section below what Pokemon you want me to do builds for, because I have a few more kind of build videos planned, but I'm not sure which Pokemon I want to do, because like I'm not the best at making my own builds. These ones are kind of from Smogon that I've kind of paired together and made some changes to with mainly GLISKEY, because I love GLISKEY. It's amazing. But yeah, so comment what Pokemon you want me to make builds of, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!